Hi, welcome back to mobile apps. Let's talk about conditionals and state change. Just like how conditionals provide more control over how a program runs in JavaScript, Java, Python, or any other language you may be familiar with, conditionals in React Native provide the same function: more control. Perhaps you want to display a certain message, render a specific image, or just make sure something doesn't break at the end of a loop. Conditionals are what you need. Sometimes you need more control, and these if-else statements written in the same JavaScript you may have seen before will help you out. In these examples, we will be adding conditional blocks inside functions we write. Typically, these functions will also be updating the state in a very similar fashion to what you are already used to. Furthermore, these functions will be called by an event, in most cases an onPress function when a button is pressed. Now there are added conditions that will determine how the state is updated. In this example, we have a counter, which we have seen before, but this is counting down the number of miles in a marathon from 26 to 1. In previous counter examples, we have seen that the state will go below 0, which might not always be preferable, especially because you cannot run negative miles in a marathon race. In this snippet, a conditional block has been added that reads, if the state mile count is greater than 1, then decrease the value of the state by 1. Otherwise, or the else part of the condition, you should update the mile count state to render you finished. This will ensure that no matter how many more times you attempt to decrease the mile count, once it gets to 0, it will render you finished rather than negative numbers. In the Marathon Counter app, we have a state object, an update counter function, and the render function. The button triggers an onPress event that calls the update counter function. Currently, the update counter function reduces the mile count by 1, but there is no lower limit. This means the miles will go below 0. This doesn't make sense for a Marathon Counter app. Let's add some conditional logic. First, the if keyword followed by a condition, this.state.milecount is greater than 1. Then, we should update the state using setState and subtract 1 from the mile count. Else, we should update the mile count to render a message, you finished. Now we have more control over the flow of the app.